Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, bringing you guys Fairy Tales Final Season, episode 289, 289. This is gonna be a good one. But as you can see, my webcam is back to normal. Finally, I got my monitor back and can put the webcam back to where it used to be. I'm still doing some adjustments. It might be a little bit off. I feel like it's still, I feel like it's closer now, but my monitor's as far back as it goes when I replace it down, so I don't know. Sometimes I lean forward when I'm watching like this, and I feel like I'm really close to the camera when I do that, but if I stay back like this, then I feel fine, but I don't know. Nitpicking with it. So if I adjust it during the video, that's why. But yeah, so let's talk about the previous episode, shall we? Because I don't have anything else to say. But I hope you all are doing well. Actually, I do have one thing to say. If you guys hear something, it's because my fan is on. It's very warm out today. It'll get very hot in here, even over the course of one episode if I turn it off. So, and also my computer fan's running hotter because it's hotter. So if you guys hear fans or something or humming, it's probably coming from me, and it's not like you guys or anything or the video. Or sorry if it's like that. But yeah, I'll probably be putting my air conditioner in soon, and then what I'll probably do is before I record, I'll blast the AC, get it nice and cool in here, and then turn it off and record. But anyway, let's talk about the last episode, which was very exciting stuff. That was the episode that they escaped from the Alvarez area, I guess that's the name of their... Alvarez is the name of their empire, right? In that whole big city. And then Alexasia or something. I know I said that wrong, but it's something like that is the name of the continent that they escaped from, and they made it back to oh shoot, what's their Ishgal, right? Or something like that. Ishval is like the Full Metal Alchemist. Ishgar? Something like that. They made it back to their continent. Sorry. It's been a week or so since I recorded. But yeah, and then when they made it back, Master was finally gonna reveal the truth behind the Lumen Histoire, but then Mavis showed up. And we also had, I guess before that, we had the cool fight between Agil, I think his name was, and the Fairy Tale members, and Luxus showed up, which was really cool. So yeah, and then Mavis showed up, and she's gonna explain what happened, and I believe this is gonna be a backstory episode, so I'm super excited to find out what the Lumen Histoire is, if we're gonna find that out this episode, or I don't know if this whole episode's gonna be backstory, and next episode's gonna, be some backstory too. I have no idea, but I just want to get into it because I want to see what happens, because I am really looking forward to hearing about what the Lumen Histoire. I had my theories that I talked about in one of my other videos. I guess I'll quickly say it. I thought it might have had to do, right before we found out, I actually talked about it, the episode that we found out it was called Fairy Heart. It was right before I watched that, I talked about my theory that I came up with, and then I found out about it being called Fairy Heart, and it's Grand Arcane Magic or something like that. And I had the theory that it had something to do with immortality, and I thought that the leader of the Alvarez Empire was sick and wanted to somehow get immortality. But then we found out who the leader actually was, and it was Zareth, so that kind of blew a hole in my theory, but I still wonder if it has to do with, immortality or something, because Mavis is stuck in the ice, and she's always, showing up places and stuff, so I don't know. But then the name, Grand Arcane Magic doesn't really, say, it doesn't really sound like some kind of immortality magic, so I think it's probably something else, but that was my theory. Anyway, let's get into the episode, shall we? So go ahead and go down in the description. There's going to be a Vimeo link. You guys can click that there. It's very easy, one click away. If you're having troubles with it on your phone, make sure you download the app. It works flawlessly. It works fine for me anyway, every time I use it. And yeah, so go ahead and click that Vimeo link right now, guys. Alrighty, guys, so that is the end of episode 289. Damn. God, that episode. I'm sorry for the reaction. I did not talk much. I usually try to keep in where I talk and important bits of information that will help like understand the episode better when I edit. But there's going to be a lot of points where I don't talk, and it's not because I cut out like where I talk. It's just because this episode was so like enthralling that I didn't have the words. It was just me being like, "Oh, wow, jeez," and stuff like that through the whole episode. Like, I did talk about a few things throughout it, but jeez. Okay, so getting into the discussion now. So my biggest question out of all of this is, she used fairy law, and he said that because she judged um because she judged the lives of others, I think it was something like that with the wording, that she was given this curse of contradiction. But Makarov used it, and uh Loxus tried to use it, and I'm sure that wasn't the first time Makarov used it either, and Makarov doesn't seem to have this. So what's different between Mavis and like Makarov? And we also, I'm sure, Precht used it too, during his time at Master, like at least once, like you can assume that, right? Um like I'm gonna see if I can find the line real fast where he says it. Uh she says, "You judged who should live and die, then. You made that choice." So I guess technically Makarov didn't kill when he used fairy law. He only like hurt him. I don't know what he did to what was that master's name? Shoot. The leader of Phantom Lord? Um Shoot, I can't remember his name, but he didn't die. He just, his hair turned like gray. He was very pale, but he was still alive. So because he didn't use fairy law to kill, did that not happen? And then also, does that mean Precht didn't as well? If Precht ever used it during his time as a master, um, Precht must not have used it to kill. And then we also know that when Loxus tried to use it, it didn't kill. So that's interesting. Like, you judged who should live and die, but plenty of people do that when they like kill and they don't get like this way. So, like, anytime you kill someone, you're judging someone to live or die. I'm a little confused by that logic. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, it's cool that this is the route they're taking with the Lumen Histoire, but at the same time, I wish it was something different. Um, because after all this, it's like there still might be something different about it, right? Because so I'm gonna hold out before I really talk about that. I'm gonna wait till the next episode to see what happens, I think. Because we don't know why she's in the crystal. She's dead. If if Zeref just killed her right there, then why is she in that crystal? And also, why is she considered Fairy Heart? What does Fairy Heart do? And why does Zeref want her still? So I'm gonna wait till next episode before I complain about this being too similar to Zareth. But it almost feels like, hey, we're wrapping up the season. We need to come up with like what the Lumen Histoire does. So let's just make her be the same thing as Zareth. Like, and that might not be it. Maybe they planned this from the beginning, and that's just how they wanted it. It is like a tragic love story kind of situation, but I feel like I did want a little bit more, like more of an exciting reveal. But like I said, I'm gonna try to reserve that judgment for the next episode. So Mavis used fairy law. She was cursed with this contradiction, which was given supposedly, like everyone attributes it to the god of like death, their like Anklesim, or however you say his name. And so that's not proven yet though. Like, at least to us as viewers, that was what the guy said that was like raising Zareth in a way, like his professor kind of thing when Zareth was growing up, mentioned that it was like a curse from him, that god, because he played with like life and death. But I don't know if this journey that they go on for the primordial magic, or at least that they talked about going on, because if she died here, she also said that she went on a quest with Zareth to search for the primordial magic, like the source of all magic. So I don't know. I guess we really need the next episode to like clarify a lot of this, if they do clarify it in the next episode. I'm very confused about a lot of things. Does she somehow come back to life, or did he take away her immortality, but she's still alive? Because I guess he did say there that like the next contradiction was they fell in love, and that caused her to lose her immortality. Did they say die there? Sometimes tragedies. Let's see. Sorry. I always hate looking up in the episode. I wanted to like keep talking, but shoot. Took my immortal life as well, but she slumped over like she died. But it just said took my immortal life. So could it be that he took away her immortality? And maybe he wants to try to do the same with her, so she was saved in the crystal, but also it still doesn't answer why Mavis, saved in the crystal, if she is alive in there, could have stopped all the faces during that time when Master was gonna reveal it. So I don't know. I guess we need more information, so I guess I'm not as mad now that I'm thinking about it, because that means there is a lot more to this. At least I think there is. I keep saying it, but we need the next episode. I need to know. But yeah, so the beginning bit, which I didn't talk about, was the first bits were pretty cool. It was a lot of like what happened in Fairy Tale Zero, but then we got past that and we got to see a lot of scenes from the war. And we got to see her being like a tactician, which is always cool, and people underestimating her because she's just like, this little kid, but she's super smart and she could figure all this stuff out, and come up with all these strategies and everything, and it's just really neat concept and everything. I love strategists. Any kind of strategy show, like I remember the first time I watched Death Note, I loved it because like the whole like mental chess game kind of thing going on, and then Code Geass was one I watched right after that, and then there have been some others that I can't remember off the top of my head, but like the ones that use like mind games and use like, I think there was one, it wasn't very popular and I cannot remember the name, but it was about like these big mechs. Like, it was a mecha anime, but they were like round, and they were more like giant tanks in a way. And these like two guys who were just very smart were able to take down these things without even using one. So they'd manage to like lay traps that would stop them because they knew like the designs and the schematics and how they were built and everything. Sometimes they'd get inside of them and break like one part that would make them fall apart and stuff. It was a really cool anime. Using like their heads to fight these mechas when they're just people on foot, you know. It was pretty cool. I liked it. But any kind of show like that is fantastic to me. So when I see like the Fairy Tactician, I love that kind of stuff. Just like, you know, outsmarting the enemy and stuff like that. But yeah, did people actually die? Now that I'm thinking about it, I mentioned before that when she used Fairy Law, did people die? Because she used it to stop the dragon, right? Like Yuri, his mind got put into the dragon, or he turned into the dragon, or something like that when he touched that like cursed orb, or something like that. And she used that to do that, but she would have killed an inanimate object, and Yuri was still alive after that. So, did she kill anybody else with it? I don't know. I'm very confused by that whole like Fairy Law is what gave her this curse, but Makarov, Loxus, and I presume Precht used it as well, just because he was a master for like 40 some odd years or whatever, and then just left. So like, wouldn't he have used it if this was passed down, kind of thing? I don't know. I could be wrong, but I've talked about that enough. I'm very confused by that. Why she was picked to have this curse when the others have not. But yeah. I don't really think I have anything else to talk about. I think the discussion will be longer in the next episode because, like, if we do learn more, I don't know what the next episode's about. So I'm hoping we better learn more because we still don't know why she's in the crystal, because at this point in time, what we know of her is that she's dead in Zeref's arms. And why she is powerful enough to have been able to stop the Faces and hold off an entire nation and stuff like. Well, maybe not hold off an entire nation. We know now that Zeref was keeping them back. It had nothing to do with the Lumen Histoire. He was just waiting for the right time to come take it, which is Mavis, who he loves. So why does he want her now? I don't know. There's so much more to know, but so much more to learn. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. I'm really looking forward to the next one. If you guys are enjoying these reactions, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. You can also like the video if you liked it. And you can check out my Patreon if you want full-length reactions instead of the cut-up bits that I do for on Vimeo. You'd be able to have full-length instead. You can check that out, or if you just want to support me as well, anything helps, even like the $1 tier, if you wanted to, helps. I'll be doing, eventually, if I ever get enough patrons to do polls, I will be doing polls to pick the next shows and everything, so if you guys are interested in that, once I get established and get going. For now, I do take recommendations. If you want to check out my anime list, also the link to the Patreon is in the description. So there's a link to my anime list, you can check that out. If you have any animes you want to recommend, I've been making a list. I'm actually going to update my list, maybe within the next week, I'm going to be replacing, I don't know if I have anything on my plan to watch right now, but I'm going to be changing up my plan to watch to be shows that people recommend and shows that I kind of want to watch on the channel, and that's what my plan to watch section of my anime list will be. And as people recommend stuff, like I just got a new recommendation a few days ago, I'll be adding it to that list, and then I'll either pick one that I feel like fits the appropriate time that like I feel like watching and everything, and like the appropriate slot that I'm filling, or I'll pick them by random, or you know, if I end up getting enough patrons, maybe I will do a poll for it instead. But yeah, so go ahead and check out all that stuff, guys. And if you have any questions for me, go ahead and ask in the comments. Just please don't post any spoilers. I know I'm behind on this, so I really hope I don't get spoiled. But yeah, if you want to talk about anything with me, like about this episode and any episodes before this, but please don't use any future knowledge, feel free to let me know in the comments. I try to read all of them and reply to every single one if I can. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.